In December 1972, astronaut Gene Cernan pressed his boots into the dusty surface of the Moon one final time. He climbed back into the lunar module, looked out at the desolate landscape, and left the last human footprints on another world. Then he came home. For more than 50 years, those footprints have remained undisturbed. No human being has returned to walk on the lunar surface. Generations have grown up, raised families, and grown old, all while the moon hung silently in the night sky, waiting. But that wait is about to end. NASA's Artemis 3 mission represents the most ambitious crewed spaceflight endeavor since the Apollo era. It is not simply a return to the moon. It is the beginning of a permanent human presence beyond Earth, a proving ground for technologies that will one day carry us to Mars, and perhaps the single most important space mission of the 21st century. To understand why Artemis 3 matters so profoundly, we need to understand why we left the moon in the first place. The Apollo program was born from Cold War competition, a race between superpowers to demonstrate technological superiority. Once that race was won, political will evaporated. Funding was slashed. The mighty Saturn V rockets that had carried men to the moon were retired and scrapped. For decades afterward, human spaceflight was confined to low Earth orbit. The Space Shuttle, the International Space Station, these were remarkable achievements, but they never took us farther than a few hundred kilometers above our planet. The moon, a mere 384,000 kilometers away, might as well have been a million light years. Then everything changed. In 2017, NASA was directed to return astronauts to the moon. The Artemis program was born, named after the twin sister of Apollo in Greek mythology. Unlike Apollo, Artemis was designed from the start to be sustainable. The goal was not to visit and leave, but to establish a lasting presence. The architecture of Artemis 3 is breathtaking in its complexity. The mission begins with the Space Launch System, or SLS, the most powerful rocket ever built by NASA. Standing nearly 100 meters tall, the SLS generates 8.8 million pounds of thrust at liftoff, more than the Saturn V that carried Apollo astronauts to the moon. Atop this colossal rocket sits the Orion spacecraft, a crew capsule designed to carry 4 astronauts on deep space missions. Orion is equipped with advanced life support systems, radiation shielding, and a heat shield capable of withstanding temperatures of nearly 3,000 degrees Celsius during atmospheric re-entry. But here is where Artemis 3 diverges dramatically from Apollo. The astronauts will not land on the moon in Orion itself. Instead, once in lunar orbit, Orion will dock with a waiting Starship human landing system, built by SpaceX. 2 astronauts will transfer into Starship, descend to the lunar surface, and spend approximately 1 week conducting exploration and scientific research. This partnership between NASA and SpaceX represents a fundamental shift in how America approaches deep space exploration. The government provides the destination and the astronauts. Private industry provides the innovation and the vehicles. It is a model that could define space exploration for decades to come. The Starship human landing system is itself a marvel of engineering. Standing over 50 meters tall on the lunar surface, it dwarfs the Apollo lunar module, which was barely 7 meters high. Starship HLS will carry not just 2 astronauts but also significant cargo, including scientific instruments, exploration tools, and supplies for the week-long surface stay. Its Raptor engines, burning methane and liquid oxygen, represent a new generation of rocket propulsion that is both more efficient and capable of being refueled using resources found on other worlds. The landing site for Artemis 3 is equally groundbreaking. Unlike Apollo, which landed near the lunar equator, Artemis 3 will target the lunar South Pole. This region is of enormous scientific interest because permanently shadowed craters near the pole contain water ice, frozen for billions of years in perpetual darkness. Water on the moon is not just a scientific curiosity. It is a strategic resource. Water can be split into hydrogen and oxygen, providing rocket fuel and breathable air. The ability to harvest lunar water could transform the moon into a refueling station for deeper space missions, dramatically reducing the cost of reaching Mars and beyond. Let us talk about the crew. Artemis 3 will carry 4 astronauts, and among them will be the first woman and the first person of color to walk on the moon. This is not merely symbolic. It represents a fundamental expansion of who gets to be an explorer, who gets to push the boundaries of human achievement. The astronauts selected for this mission have trained for years, mastering the complex systems of both Orion and Starship. They have practiced lunar geology in analog environments on Earth, tested next-generation spacesuits in underwater laboratories, and rehearsed emergency procedures countless times. When they step onto the moon, they carry with them the hopes and dreams of an entire generation that grew up watching space exploration from afar. Speaking of spacesuits, Artemis 3 will debut the new Exploration Extravehicular Mobility Unit, developed in partnership with Axiom Space. These are not the bulky, restrictive suits of the Apollo era that made astronauts look like they were waddling across the surface. The new suits offer dramatically improved mobility, allowing astronauts to kneel, bend, and pick up objects with far greater ease. They feature advanced thermal regulation, improved dust protection, and enhanced communication systems that allow crystal-clear audio even in the vacuum of space. The lunar dust, or regolith, was one of the most vexing problems of the Apollo missions. It is extraordinarily fine, abrasive, and clings to everything due to its electrostatic charge. Apollo astronauts tracked it into their spacecraft, where it caused respiratory irritation and damaged sensitive equipment. The new suits are designed with this challenge in mind, incorporating advanced materials and improved seals that resist dust infiltration much more effectively than their Apollo predecessors. During their approximately 7 days on the surface, the Artemis 3 crew will conduct a wide range of scientific investigations. They will collect geological samples from the permanently shadowed regions, deploy seismometers to study the moon's interior structure, test instruments for detecting and analyzing subsurface water ice, and photograph the landscape in unprecedented detail using high-resolution cameras and spectrometers. They will also conduct technology demonstrations critical for future missions. This includes testing a small unpressurized rover for extended surface exploration, evaluating new solar power generation systems designed to survive the extreme cold of the lunar night, and demonstrating autonomous navigation technologies that could guide robots across the rugged lunar terrain without human intervention. One of the most exciting aspects of the broader Artemis program is the Lunar Gateway, a small space station that will orbit the moon in a unique near-rectilinear halo orbit. While the initial Artemis 3 mission may not use the full gateway infrastructure, this orbital outpost will eventually serve as a staging point for lunar surface missions, a laboratory for deep space research, and a critical communications relay for surface operations at the South Pole. Perhaps most importantly, everything learned during Artemis 3 will directly inform plans for the Artemis Base Camp, a permanent lunar outpost that NASA envisions establishing later this decade. The base camp will include habitats for long-duration crew stays, a pressurized rover for extended exploration across the lunar surface, and infrastructure for mining and processing lunar resources into usable materials. The path to Artemis 3 has not been without challenges. The SLS rocket experienced significant cost overruns and schedule delays during its development. The overall program timeline has shifted multiple times. Critics have questioned whether the program is too expensive, whether private companies could achieve the same goals more efficiently, and whether the moon is the right destination when so many pressing challenges face us here on Earth. These are legitimate questions, and they deserve serious consideration. But the counterargument is equally compelling. Space exploration drives technological innovation that benefits everyone. The technologies developed for Artemis, from advanced composite materials to closed-loop water purification systems to next-generation radiation shielding, will find applications in medicine, renewable energy, environmental protection, and advanced manufacturing. Moreover, Artemis is building an international coalition. The Artemis Accords, signed by more than 40 nations around the world, establish a framework for peaceful cooperation in space exploration. This is not a unilateral endeavor but a collaborative human achievement that brings nations together around a shared vision of exploration, scientific discovery, and peaceful use of outer space. The economic implications are equally significant. Industry analysts project that the lunar economy could be worth hundreds of billions of dollars by the middle of this century. From resource extraction and processing to space tourism to scientific research and development, the moon represents an enormous economic opportunity for nations and private companies alike. Artemis 3 is the first critical step toward unlocking that vast potential. As we look toward the future, Artemis 3 is not an ending but a beginning. The data collected, the technologies proven, and the operational experience gained will lay the essential groundwork for increasingly ambitious missions. The moon will become a stepping stone, a place where we learn to live and work on another world before attempting the far greater challenge of sending humans to Mars. The journey to Mars will require everything we learn on the moon and much more. It will demand months-long transit times through deep space, autonomous medical capabilities without the possibility of quick evacuation, advanced radiation protection from solar particle events, and extraordinary psychological resilience in the face of profound isolation from Earth. The moon, only 3 days away, provides a relatively nearby laboratory for developing and testing these capabilities before committing to the much longer Mars journey. So here we stand, on the threshold of a new era in human exploration. The rockets are being prepared on their launch pads. The astronauts are training in simulators and neutral buoyancy labs. The technology is being refined and tested in laboratories across the country. More than 50 years after Gene Cernan left those final footprints in the lunar dust, humanity is finally ready to make new ones. The moon has been waiting for us, patient and silent, a beacon in the darkness that has guided humanity since we first looked up at the night sky. And this time, when we arrive, we are not just visiting. We are staying. We are building. We are learning. We are preparing for the even greater journeys that lie ahead. The age of Artemis has begun, and with it, a new chapter in the story of humanity among the stars. The footprints we leave this time will not be the last.